Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, or welcome, just welcome if you're new here. So this is the second soul contract reading I'm going to be doing. What is a soul contract? So I'm still learning about soul contracts, but basically it's the agreements that our soul makes before, if you believe in that, before we come into the human experience. And it's agreements on some of the experiences we're going to have, the relationships and soul family and people we're going to connect with, lessons we're going to learn. It's things like that. And of course, we do have free will as well. But I believe there are just some things that are meant for us to experience, meant for us to have. And then there are other things that aren't. They're just not a part of our mission. They're not a part of our journey. And obviously we do get to choose some things, but yeah, it's a mixture. It's a mixed bag. And all we can do is try as well. Even if there's something we want, even if it's really not meant for us, we can still try and see what happens, can't we? Anyway, so with this reading, it may or may not resonate with you because obviously soul contracts are really unique to each individual person. You may find it resonates for someone that you know actually rather than you, and it might help you to understand them better. Either way, you might find the messages inspiring. And if this one doesn't resonate, I am intending to do these readings probably maybe about every other week, a couple times a month. So, you know, if this one doesn't resonate, the next one might. Let's get on with it. I am going to put a timestamp because it might take me a bit of time to get all of the cards out. So I'll put a timestamp for anyone who absolutely cannot bear to watch shuffling and to take the time to see the cards coming out. Then I'll put a timestamp so it will show where it just gets straight into the reading. Although I will say, as I'm taking the cards out, messages come through as well. So you might miss bits and pieces if you skip, but it's your choice. So starting off with Sacred Destiny cards, the first card I want to get is I want to get a card for like the destiny or the main mission of the person, or lessons or whatever for the person whose soul contract this is. So let's see what comes out. We have transformation and we have wisdom as well. So I don't know if you could see those properly. I'm kind of rushing into this reading, aren't I? So transformation and wisdom. And I want to look at the essence of the person whose soul contract this is. What is the essence of the person whose soul contract this is? We have miracles. Wow, that's an interesting one to get. Let's see what the universe has been guiding or pushing this person towards. Enlightenment. I'm not even shocked. I was actually going to say, which I wish I'd said it in advance, because transformation and wisdom came out together. I mean, obviously it's a main theme for most people is to learn from experiences, but that is a big theme overall here. Like, you know, some people, their mission might be to save lives or something like that, or to entertain. You know, that can be the life purpose of some people. Some people it might be to learn to love more, or you know, things like that. But this one, it's a big learning theme, experiencing, learning. And then I guess enlightenment is the word that kind of summarizes that, basically, isn't it? I don't know why I get the thought that this might be quite a magical person in some way, shape, or form. And I don't know how that will play out, but we'll see. They might have a lot of magical experiences or unusual experiences, even. Maybe even supernatural experiences. But let's continue. So let's look at what this soul contract has dealt with in the past, or the person has dealt with in the past within this soul contract. Flies across the room, of course. We've got freedom. The first thing that is coming to mind with this, I'm not gonna lie, it's freedom of thought. Something potentially about freedom of thought. So even the thought that, you know, like I've read on a few mediums, read up about a few mediums actually, where a can't remember which one specifically said this, but I know that more than one has said it, where they, well, there's different ways of looking at it. There's the ones where they were told that they're basically a freak of nature and that it's wrong to be a medium. Like if they grew up as a child who saw spirits around them and they've sort of kept it to themselves. And there's something around that with freedom where they've gotten to a point where they no longer have to hide it or repress it or suppress it. So there's that side of things. There's another side now, and I've forgotten what I was going to say. There's the ones where, I think, is it Teresa? I can't remember how you say her last name, but you know, Teresa, the blonde-haired, is she from Boston or something like that? I believe she said that she thought that everybody saw spirits around them, so she never, it was nothing to her. But then obviously she got to a point where she realized it was that was her special gift, and there's a sense of freedom in that as well. Not sure how that works, but yeah, there's something that feels freeing about that, about knowing that it's a gift and it's not just the normal. Well, I don't want to say normal because what is normal, but that not everybody sees those things. There's something freeing about finding that out, about discovering that. But anyway, let's look at what's being dealt with in the present within this soul contract. Oh, that's a lot. I'm going to try that again. So what's being dealt with in the present within this soul contract? We've got focus. Not surprising with that enlightenment type energy again. Potential future things that will be dealt with in the soul contract. Pleasure and embracing pleasure. Okay, right, any guidance to help this person fulfill the soul contract? Openness, I love it. So that goes back to what I said, that for people who, like, just as an example, I'm not saying this is necessarily the exact situation, but if somebody saw spirits around them as a child and they felt that they had to keep it to themselves because they would be ridiculed or rejected or whatever because of it, that's where that openness comes out. So somebody, if there is someone within this soul contract, for this soul contract, if it does relate to stuff like spiritual gifts and stuff like that, there's a need to be open, or more open, should I say. Let's use the Spirit Animal Oracle deck now, and again I'll remind, if you're still here for this part, that I'm going to put a timestamp for when we get into the cards properly, if you don't feel like you want to watch the cards coming out. Right, so again, the destiny within this soul contract, or the primary mission, lessons, etc. We have make your dreams real and time to let go, and that's really interesting with the transformation card, because usually in order to transform, there's something that has to be let go, doesn't there? So I'll put that there. Again, the essence of the person within the reading. Trust the great mystery with miracles. Okay, we've got let's look at the enlightenment card, what the universe has been guiding or pushing the person towards. We have eagle, spirit has your back. This feels like a really magical kind of reading, to be honest. It really does. So I wouldn't be surprised if this soul contract is for somebody who is into spiritual stuff. I already said mediumship, that kind of thing. Okay. Freedom, let's have a look at that freedom card. So that was what's been dealt with in the past in this soul contract. Dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch. And I wasn't necessarily planning to use tarot for the whole reading to clarify anything, but I might where I feel like it's necessary to give more info. Let's look at the present, the that focus card. Anything that's been dealt with in the present within this soul contract. We've got be spirit, sweet results await, and time to heal. Let's look at the embracing pleasure cards for what's been dealt with in the future in the soul contract. We have mouse spirit, tend to the small things. And finally, guidance to fulfill the soul contract with the openness card. What else do we need to know there? Sandpiper spirit, be playful. Right, let's get into it. So first of all, like the main destiny or primary lessons of this person. I mean, as I said, we all have to transform, don't we? But so that would be a lesson, which, as I say, we all have. But this, it feels, because it's come up, there's something about it that's on a deeper level for this particular person. Whether that deeper level means that they need to share their wisdom and their experience of transformation, and that's what the deeper level is. Or if, say for example, if you believe in past life, say if in their past life the things that they dealt with were more, it was more about the mundane, and in this lifetime it's more of the spiritual. And it's making me think of a card in the Akashic Tarot, which I used for the previous reading, and I didn't use it in this one because the last soul contract reading I wasn't feeling it. But there's something about the it's a card, is it something like in between, is it in between worlds or something? And it's a card where there's a contrast where it says that the person may have switched in between past lives, where in one life there may have been like a monk and focused too much on the spiritual or heavily on the spiritual, and then in another past life they may have focused on the material world and the practical, and it's sort of a need to balance those things out. But as I say, this one feels very spiritual, but there's like a bigger reason. There's a bigger thing with the spiritual side and the transformation side. It's not just the mundane of what we just typically go through in life. Maybe this is the first lifetime, or in this particular lifetime it's one where they really acknowledge a spiritual awakening, because not everybody acknowledges that, do they? I think we probably all go through it, or most of us go through it, but not everyone acknowledges it. You know, there are people that can ignore when shit like that happens, or maybe for some people it doesn't even happen. So in this particular soul contract, it seems to be a big deal. Maybe that, as I say, in past lives they haven't acknowledged it, and part of, as I said, part of that transformation is letting go. It's letting go of the old versions of yourself, letting go of the things that you that you the things that you knew, the things that you know, to, you know, I've forgotten how people put it now, but it's unknowing certain things, or unlearning certain things to become a different version of yourself. And maybe the point of this lifetime is that going through that transformation, acknowledging awakening, letting go of old things, versions of yourself, thought patterns, etc. It means that this life is where they really have the chance to have the kind of more of an ideal life than they've ever had before. So I'll leave that there. Let's look at the essence of this person. As I said, I'm tempted to get tarot for this. This person may have had some... There may be something about where they're either drawn to things that are quite miraculous, or miraculous things are drawn to them. So again, whether it's mediumship, it's spirituality, maybe they're a reader or a healer of some sort. You've got trust the great mystery. So there may be someone who in this lifetime they believe in the spiritual side of things more than they ever have before. They're more open to it than they ever have been before. Okay. let's look at the Spirit Has Your Back card. So that was what the universe is pushing the person towards. So more, just more of this, I would say. More getting deeper into the transformation, being even more open to the mysteries of life and miracles and the spiritual side of things. It says Spirit Has Your Back. So it's like the more the person goes into all of that and is more open to enlightenment, the more Spirit will help them and guide them. Right, let's look at what's been dealt with in the past. So I'm going to get some tarot for this because I want to see if there's anything specific here. So bring a gentle touch and freedom. There may be something for someone about, I mean, I've already said it when I brought up that thing about mediumship. You know, where I've said someone might have forced, like rejected if they were a medium or something like that. That might be where the freedom comes in, as I said, where they've accepted, right, this is who I am, this is real, it's not all in my head, etc. And that's where the gentle touch comes in, where you're gentle with yourself and you accept those things and that side of yourself. Anything else to clarify that, please? Three of Cups. I mean, the Three of Cups is a card of support, isn't it? Page of Cups, it's a card of vulnerability and openness. And when we get the Three of Cups as a card of support, it doesn't always mean physical people around us. I think that the Three of Cups, it can be support, like spiritual support, like if you believe in spirit guides, ancestors, angels, that sort of thing, that can be where the support comes from. And that's because if the person has become more open to that sort of thing, then the support is there. It could even be about religion, spirituality, that type of thing as well, beliefs. Let's get one more for that. Then we've got the Two of Cups, and that's connection. Sometimes for me, the Two of Cups feels like psychic. It can feel like psychic connection. But it's also a card for me of understanding. And again, if you were someone that in the past, or whoever this is for, the soul contract, someone in the past who had to shut down the spiritual side of themselves, once they open up to that, they might be able to connect with people who believe the same thing or support the same thing and get that sense of understanding rather than repressing who they really are. So I'll leave that. In the present, we have, so what's been dealt with in the present: focus, time to heal, and sweet results away. I mean, that is part of transformation, isn't it, as well? Healing and focus. But let's see what comes up. As I say, there's just a thing where it's like the deeper this person and more open they are to enlightenment and gets more into exploring that side of themselves, the spiritual side of themselves, the better life gets, I think. So we're trying to clarify focus, sweet results await, and time to heal. And this is progression with that chariot. And remember, one of the meanings of the chariot is it's where it can be alignment, where you get heart and mind into alignment. So again, not just logicking the shit out of things. I can't remember whose reading it was that I've done for the signs, but there was one, actually there were a couple. I think it was Gemini and Pisces. So this may be a water sign. If this resonates for you and you're a water sign, please let us know in the comments, because it just lets me know that it's connecting with someone. The other soul contract reading I did, fire energy came up strong, and yeah, I asked the same thing to let us know the sign. But yeah, this feels like it could potentially be a water sign, possibly. So Pisces, Scorpio, Cancerian energy as well. But I've lost my trail of thought now. Yeah, getting the mind and the heart into alignment. I guess it would be more like getting the spirit and the what would I say? Spirit and the physical into alignment here to move forward, to get the best out of life. Because obviously you can go too far either each end, where you can be in denial of the spiritual stuff and then all you care about is the practical, or if you go too far to the spiritual stuff, you're in a little bubble where you're completely disconnected from the world. So it's getting those things into alignment to progress in life and get the best out of life. Anything else? There might be old wounds to heal in regard to the person's spiritual beliefs, actually. But let's see. We got the 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands. There's something about a comfort zone here and moving out of a comfort zone. Anything else? Could be something about independence. I mean, you've got freedom there, but independence as well. Yeah, right. We've got the 5 of Wands, but it is in reverse. So time to heal. It's pretty much along the lines of what I just said about maybe needing to heal something about spiritual beliefs if you've faced any kind of opposition. That 6 of Wands is giving me a vibe of standing up for someone, standing up for themselves as well, to be honest, coming out of the comfort zone and standing up for themselves. And the interesting thing in this, well, I think in most of the 6 of Wands, is that people are focused on that person. So I think I mentioned earlier that someone here, for this soul contract, it might be that part of the importance of the transformation and wisdom is that they need to share that with others. And that's why it could be why it's such a big deal for them. Okay, let's move on to what may be dealt with in the future. So we've got 10 to the small things. We've got pleasure, embracing pleasure. So embracing pleasure, that's self-explanatory. You know, we have to remember that as much as we can be going through spiritual awakenings and transformations and doing shadow work, we still have to have fun in life as well. You know, it doesn't, yes, we can focus on all of that, but that doesn't mean that life has to be all dead serious and 100% all we care about is focusing on meditation and spiritual stuff 24/7. We still have to enjoy ourselves as well in little ways by doing silly things, like whether it's someone that you enjoy going to theme parks or you enjoy watching movies. You know, even if you become highly spiritually enlightened, you're still a human being who's here to enjoy human experiences. And it's the little things, isn't it? Like I, for example, love sweets, and I know that they are not good for me, but I like sweets, and no matter how spiritual I get, I can't imagine giving sweets up, to be frank. You know, it's the little things in life. So I'll get a couple of clarifiers for that, but I don't really think I need to get more on that. So it's a reminder to your head doesn't always have to be so focused on, yes, focus on it, but make space for the little things as well and enjoy the little things too. Enjoy the human process as well. Don't go too far to the other end of the spectrum where it's like, right, I'm a spiritual being and I need to just focus on all of that now and cut everything else out. And that was upside down, wasn't it? Right, we've got the Magician. I'd put it upside down. So we've got the Magician. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Again, I think it's mainly about balancing things out. I'll get one more for that. Oh, it's gone far away. So yeah, okay, yeah, we've got Judgment here as well. It's the two sides of things. So obviously you've got the spiritual side of things. You want to remain connected to the spiritual. You want to continue with the transformations and the awakening and the shadow work and everything. But remember to allow yourself to have those experiences, to enjoy the physical opportunities as well, and to create and allow yourself to experience the physical things and material side of life too, and the little pleasures, the small pleasures. Balance things out. And I don't know what I feel like saying. I know that with when we can get into spiritual stuff, we can go down the route of, and I guess it's pretty much what I've been saying, like money is the root of all evil. And that we shouldn't be allowed to have a lot of money and stuff like that and physical things. And again, it's just a reminder that we're still human. We're here to enjoy these physical things. If you're someone that enjoys fast cars, just because you have a fast car or you enjoy an expensive fast car, it doesn't mean that you're less spiritual. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Or if you want to live in a mansion, you can live in a mansion and still be dedicated to the spiritual side of things as well. Still enjoy life. Okay, let's look at any guidance to help this in terms of fulfilling this soul contract. So we've got to be playful, which I'm not going to reiterate what I've already said, because it's basically that, about enjoying the little things in life. Openness. I think openness, it means being open to everything, the whole experience, the whole human / spiritual experience. Be open to all of it. I will get a couple of clarifiers. Sorry about that. Somebody's pressing my buzzer and I'm not opening the door because I don't know who the hell it is. But anyway, right. So let's clarify openness. We've got the moon. We have the 10 of swords. Right, I'm going to try that again because that buzzer really distracted me. I'll leave the moon there, but I'm going to try the next one again. So we're clarifying openness, which is the guidance to get this person through the soul contract. Right, we've got the moon, the hermit, and the high priestess. So again, that's a reminder to be open to the spiritual and all of it. And a reminder as well, a reminder about rigid beliefs. Like once you learn something, you're allowed to change your mind in terms of the spiritual path and beliefs as well. And there are many different aspects to it as well. Things can change. Okay, let's get one more. I like how the moon's there and the moon is there. There's so much that's unknown, and as I say, our minds can change. Things can change around us, theories can change, spiritual beliefs and paths can change. Just be open to all of it. Just because you start off believing one thing, it doesn't mean that you have to stick with that and carry it through the rest of your life. It can become something else. 8 of Pentacles. That just feels like there's a lot to learn and a lot to experience. Anything else? I'll get one more. We have the Emperor. I'll get one more after the Emperor just to check what that means. 3 of Swords. Oops. Where has that gone? 6 of Pentacles. Just bear with me one moment. There's something about rigidness here. There's a caution about rigidness. With the Emperor being there. Just bear with me a minute, please. This may be a bit of a caution as well. Again, it's that same reminder about embracing all of the little things as in life, but it might be to do with people as well, where, you know, sometimes if you're in a spiritual path, on a spiritual path, you feel like you got to be by yourself. And obviously there are, for a certain amount of time or for certain periods of it, there are just things you have to do by yourself. But you know, when you kind of cut people, you might get into the frame of mind where you cut people off because you just feel you feel like no one understands you, and no one gets you, and you might get into a state of being highly defensive. because of your beliefs. It's a reminder to be open to life's experiences, but in terms of people as well. And we have to meet each other halfway. And I did say that in the I believe in the Pisces and Gemini zodiac sign readings as well. And yes, you may, if you are very spiritual or a medium or whatever, there are going to be experiences where people will criticize and ridicule and judge. There will naturally be experiences like that, and they're horrible to deal with. And obviously you don't want to just keep on putting yourself in the line of fire for that, but that's something that we have to accept as part of our experience as well. And obviously we shouldn't let it put us off pursuing our spiritual path, but we also shouldn't let it put us off having relationships with people as well, and being open to people and experiencing those relationships too. So it's just being, the openness is being open to everything as part of the human experience, because you get the, once you open up, a bit of the negative is going to come through with the positive as well, isn't it? You can't completely avoid all negativity in life. Right, so I'll leave that there, and I'm going to get one more card of advice for this particular soul contract from the postcards from Spirit deck, and then we'll wrap that up. Final advice, guidance to fulfill this soul contract. Final advice. Try that again. Oh, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. I shuffled, and then I thought that none of them had fallen out upright, and then I looked behind me and there was one upright. So we're going to keep that one. Just bear with me one sec. Oh, wow. The word miracle is in it. I can see already. That's, yeah, love that. So it says, there is only one you, and you have a unique path and a special purpose. You're supposed to have specific experiences in this world and meet certain people. But then it is up to you how you live, how awake you choose to be, and how willing you are to grow and strip away what's false. Don't compare yourself to others. It's easy to think a person is happier just because their outside looks good according to society's standards. But you can't know anyone's internal experience. Compare yourself only to your past self. See how far you've come. Don't be distracted by what others are doing or accomplishing. Stay focused on what inspires you. That's how you get successful and find happiness. Want what you have now, not what someone else has. We love you immensely and know your journey ahead is sparkling with miracles and wondrous things. Trust. So I love that message. I feel like that really fits into the word miracle is in there, the word focus is in there. It speaks of purpose quite a lot. So yeah, hopefully that was at least entertaining or inspirational to you in some way. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.